right, so welcome back to the deep dive, everybody. As we flip the calendar over to a new month here, April 2025. There's something I think pretty big for a lot of you guys out there on the horizon, and that is Social Security payments. They're coming.
Exactly. It's that time again. 72.5 million plus people are waiting for these payments to hit their accounts. And, we hear you. We get it. It makes a difference.
It really does. And for this deep dive, we've gotten a lot of requests from you guys saying, hey, when are those April payments coming? When can I expect that? What's the deal? So that's what we're going to get into today. We're going to break it all down for you.
That's right. We are going to be dissecting the April 2025 Social Security payment schedule. We're going to give you the dates. We're going to give you the why behind those dates and really kind of help you understand how it all works.
And one thing I think a lot of you are going to like is that unlike January, February, and March, where we had kind of some weird payment schedule stuff going on because of, how the first of the month fell those months, well, April is really predictable.
Yeah, it really is. It's a textbook Social Security payment schedule. It's reliable. And, most importantly for some of you, I think those payments are coming a little earlier than they have been.
Yeah, and I think for a lot of people, that's great news. Getting those payments earlier in the month can really, just kind of help things out, right?
Absolutely, yeah, especially after a few months where the calendar was kind of messing with us a little bit.
Yeah.
Getting back to a standard, dependable pattern like we see in April is going to help a lot of people out, I think.
For sure, for sure. So let's get right to it then. What can everybody expect this month?
Let's do it. So we're going to go day by day, and we'll talk about who's going to be getting paid on each of those key dates.
Okay, so first up, we've got April 1st. That's a Tuesday this year. And if you get SSI supplemental security income, then April 1st is the day you're going to want to be looking out for.
Yep, April 1st, Tuesday this year, and there's no holidays or, weekends before it. So that means that SSI recipients, you guys are getting paid right at the beginning of the month. It's like the earliest possible start to the payment cycle.
Perfect. Okay. So then just a couple of days later, we've got Thursday, April 3rd. And this is another important date for some folks out there. This is for anybody who started getting their Social Security benefits before May 1997.
Yeah, that pre-May 1997 distinction is really important. If your benefits started before then, Thursday, April 3rd, that's your day. Also, this date is important for people with concurrent claims.
Concurrent claims. So just so that everybody's on the same page with that, what exactly does that mean?
Yeah, so concurrent claims, that's when you're eligible for, and you receive benefits from both Social Security, maybe SSDI or Social Security Disability Insurance and SSI at the same time. Basically, you qualify for both programs, so you get payments from both.
Oh, okay. So if somebody's in that situation, if they're getting both SSDI and SSI,
yeah,
they would gotten their SSI payment on April 1st, and then they get their SSDI payment just 2 days later on April 3rd.
Bingo, that's right. 2 payments within the first few days of the month for those folks.
Nice. Okay, so then moving into the second week of April, we've got Wednesday, April 9th. Mm-hmm. That's the next payment date.
Okay, so this is where things start to get a little interesting. You know how we were talking about how the day of the week that the first of the month falls on makes a difference? Well, because April 1st was a Tuesday, that second Wednesday of the month comes a little bit earlier in the month than if the first was, say, a Thursday or Friday.
Right. So this payment on April 9th is for people with birthdays between the 1st and the 10th of the month. And because the 1st was a Tuesday, they're getting paid a little earlier, which I think most people would prefer anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's important to remember these payment dates aren't always on the same day each month. Like, it depends on what day of the week the first falls on.
Yeah, for sure. And that's not just, some random thing that doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. It actually can make a difference for people who are really, watching their finances carefully if you're on a fixed income. Knowing exactly when that money's coming in can make a big difference for your budget.
Right. It's all about predictability and planning and knowing that those funds are going to be there when you need them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the third Wednesday of April this year, it's on the 16th. And if your birthday is between the 11th and the 20th of the month, then that's when you're getting paid.
Wednesday, April 16th for all those folks with birthdays in that middle 10-day range of the month from the 11th to the 20th.
Gotcha. And then finally, we come to the fourth Wednesday of April, which is the 23rd. And if your birthday is between the 21st and the 31st, that's your payment date.
Yep. Anyone with a birthday in the later part of April from the 21st to the 31st, you can expect that payment to land in your account on Wednesday, April 23rd, the fourth Wednesday of the month.
Okay, so to recap quickly, SSI on April 1st, pre-May 1997, beneficiaries and people with concurrent claims on April 3rd, birthdays between the 1st and the 10th on the 9th birthdays, from the 11th to the 20th on the 16th, And finally, birthdays from the 21st to the 31st on the 23rd. Okay, so now we get this question a lot, and it's about holidays. Do holidays affect the payment schedule? Well, this year, Easter's in April, so let's talk about that.
Right. A lot of people want to know about that. So
Yeah.
in 2025, Easter Sunday is on April 20th.
And the good news is, because Easter is on a Sunday, it's not going to change the Social Security payment schedule at all.
Exactly. Social Security payments, they never go out on Sundays. So
Yeah.
because Easter's on a Sunday, no worries. It's not going to cause any delays or changes to that Wednesday payment schedule that we just talked about.
So those dates are solid no matter what. You don't have to worry about Easter messing anything up.
Nope. Nice and predictable. No unexpected changes.
Okay, just looking ahead for a second, as we mentioned, the payment schedule really depends on what day of the week the first of the month is, so it's always changing a little bit from month to month.
It's like a little puzzle each month figuring out where those Wednesday payments are going to land. But once you understand the pattern, it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, and for those of you who are already thinking about May 2025, well, the exact payment schedule for May is going to depend on where the first day of May falls.
What?
So it's a pattern that continues. Maybe we can dive into that in a future episode.
Absolutely. We could definitely do a whole deep dive just on that if people are interested.
So, all right, one last time for everybody. Let's go over those April 2025 payment dates. SSI payments are going to arrive on April 1st if you started getting benefits before May 1997. Or if you have concurrent claims, look for your payment on April 3rd. People with birthdays between the 1st and the 10th, your payment date is April 9th. Birthdays between the 11th and the 20th, you'll get paid on April 16th. And finally, if your birthday is between the 21st and the 31st, your payment will arrive on April 23rd.
And like we've been saying, April is really a straightforward textbook payment schedule. Nothing crazy going on this month. So that's good news for everybody who relies on these payments.
Absolutely no weird calendar stuff or holidays to worry about. Just nice and predictable payments. So as we wrap up this deep dive on the April 2025 Social Security payment schedule, we want to leave you with this. How can knowing exactly when you're getting paid, especially with the possibility of getting paid a little earlier in April, how can that help you with your financial planning and just give you some peace of mind this month? Think about how that certainty can help you manage your money and feel more confident about your finances. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yeah, think about it and let us know. Thanks for listening.